When most people think of human trafficking, they likely immediately think about sex trafficking. But there's another form of human trafficking. It's taking place right in this country, and some of the biggest companies in America are taking advantage of it. Wow, what a heyday, right, for the U.S. Chamber of Commerce with all the immigration. This is, man, they're high-fiving each other. This is the greatest thing that's happened. Now all these immigrants are coming in. They'll pick our vegetables. They'll pick our fruit. If they die, hell, ship them back to Guatemala. Nobody knows about it. We don't have to pay them wages, even close to the minimum wage. We have all kinds of ways to exploit them, right? Yeah. This is all about immigrant exploitation. That's what this story's about, isn't it?
It is, and this one actually came about because Kroger, huge grocery store chain here in the United States, is trying to merge with Albertsons. So, okay, you got to go through all the regulatory process. We've got to do background checks on everybody here. And part of that background check that was pretty much ignored by everybody except for the lever is, hey, Kroger, you've actually been boasting about how you're using these local independent, farmers and whatnot, but you got one here and you actually use it for several stores. They've literally been caught using trafficked humans to pick their fruits. And when we talk traffic, we are talking about what you would see in a movie type thing.
Yeah.
People thrown into the car, their documents stolen from them, beaten, tortured, some of them killed.
Oh, yeah.
And all just so you can have somebody go out for $5 an hour to pick your blueberries.
Some of these people are kidnapped.
Yeah.
The stories that are endless about being repeatedly raped, being locked in your living area where you can't leave, to where you're working. They will have what they call stores where the owner of the organization will sell food to them at 100 times the rate that it should be. And then they've got to pay off the store to get food or clothing, whatever it may be. And so at the end of the day, they may pick, 1,000 bags of whatever, and you would think they're going to make some money, but no, you owe the store. You can't do anything until you pay the store off. This is a truly ugly story. Southern Press hired Maria Leticia Patricia. She was prosecuted for trafficking, and what she was doing, everybody understood it. I mean, everybody knew exactly what was going on, but they just turned the other way and said, "Well, these are only immigrants.
Yeah,
they're making a little bit of money. They're better off now than they were in Nicaragua. Let's let it happen."
Yeah, and so this woman you're talking about, she owned this labor consulting and contracting company, and so these farmers would go and hire her, and she would say, "Oh, don't worry, I've got lots of workers. I'll find you some workers." So the farmers didn't know because they didn't want to know. Kroger's then hires the farmer to give them the produce, and Kroger doesn't know because Kroger probably doesn't want to know. And it's even pointed out, by the way, in this article that Kroger is not a part of the organization of other grocery stores that actually do vet these farmers to make sure that there's no trafficking. So Kroger did not traffic people, but they certainly, through this chain here, we're making money off of it. Willingly, unwillingly, we don't know. We'll have to wait and see what comes out on this. But it's a disgusting story and definitely not good for them.
Farron, how difficult do you think it is for Kroger to go on site and say, "Look, let's take a look at all this. Let's see what's really happening." They would see these conditions. They would talk to workers. They would know what's happening. But no, it's just let's ignore it. They have, this statement to me just is so disgusting. These folks are out there bragging about how they're excited to provide more opportunities for local producers to grow their businesses. That's their headline. And we're excited to provide work for immigrants.
Everybody always wonders, well, why doesn't Congress do anything about immigration? This is why.
Yeah.
Because these corporations, like you pointed out, the Chamber of Commerce, we will never have a solution to any of the immigration problems because these corporations love to exploit these people and they will keep the status quo the way it is forever.
Farron, thank you for joining me, okay?
Thank you.
That's all for this week. But all these segments, they're going to be posted right here on this channel in the coming week. So make sure you subscribe. I'm Mike Papantonio, and this has been America's Lawyer, where we tell you stories every week that corporate media won't tell you. because advertisers won't let them tell the story, because if they do, they're going to pull advertising dollars. Or their political connections don't allow for it because, well, they're spokespeople for the Democrats or they're spokespeople for the Republicans. And if you tell a story that makes them mad, maybe you won't have access to the people who want to speak for those parties. I'm Mike Papantoni, and we'll see you next time.